Hey, what's the good side of Lake Martin? Is there a bad side of Lake Martin for real estate? A good side? I think it depends on three things. It depends on where you're coming from, it depends on what you want to do when you're on the water, and it also depends on any plans you might have for your house once you have it. So stay tuned and I'll try to roll through all three of those things to explain what I mean. All right, part one. Some people are really geographically focused on the lake, and that means that'll be a good or a bad side for them. What I mean by that is where they're coming from. Some people, I have a lot of clients that are coming from east, so this is the east side, right? This is where Atlanta is and Georgia, and people say, hey, I want to be within 2 hours of Atlanta, or I want to be as close as I can to Auburn, right? Our kids go to Auburn, and it's like 35 minutes, the stadium's 35 minutes from a couple of areas here, and this is the east side, so some people want that. Some people are coming from Birmingham, right, or west, if they are coming from like Scottsdale, Arizona, and they're flying into the Birmingham airport because they like the Birmingham airport. That they want to end up on the west side. All right. Also, I have a lot of people that are coming from the south. They may be coming from Dothan or Florida or Montgomery or parts like that. So they want to end up on the south side of the lake. So for them, that's the good side of the lake. All right. Number two is how they're going to enjoy the lake while they're here. Sometimes people get irritated at me when they say, well, what's the good side of the lake, or what's the bad side of the lake, and they expect like an answer, like, hey, you don't want to be in this neighborhood or that slough. And it really is sometimes because of reason number two, how they're going to use their lake house. So what I mean by that, some people say, look, hey, I really like to be near the action. I like to be near some waterfront restaurants. I like to, and so therefore, I'll tell them, because like Chuck's is right here, Kalijah is right here, the Social is right here, and so right in this waterfront corridor, but of course there's Parker Creeks over here, and there's there are a couple right over here. So if somebody says, I really like to ride in my boat to restaurants, I'm gonna try to like start over here in this southern corridor, may be good for them. Other people may say, look, I really love to fish. I like to get out and I like to see nobody else on the boat while I'm out. I might like to run up to the north area. And so this area in here on the north side, I call it North Lake. This is the Highway 280 bridge. And 280 kind of is like a hat of the lake, right? And so you got 49 on the east and 63 goes in the middle and 259 on the west. So 50 on the bottom. So if they want to be kind of in a less populated area, good for fishing, I usually say, all right, let's look in the north side because if you're coming out of your boat here, and this is Wind Creek State Park, a lot of good fishing over here, and it's lightly populated. And some people might say, hey, when I get there, I want to park, and I don't care if I'm close to restaurants. I want to feel like I'm down a gravel road, and I also want to be near golf. Okay, well, that tells me where they want to be here. Alexander City, or Alex City as we natives affectionately call it, has a municipal golf course actually over here. And so I'll say, okay, this is a pretty gravel roady area feeling here too. So you're close to municipal golf here. The Willow Point Golf and Country Club is over here. The Heritage Wicker Point has a new area golf course, and it's on this side over here. So that also depends on what people want to do while they're here. Another way to figure out the good or the bad side of Lake Martin for you personally is how are you going to use your house or your condo? Some people would tell me, hey, look, I'd like the option of short-term renting my home or my condo, or if I'm buying a lot where I build my house. I don't know if, people will say, hey, I want to rent it 80% of the time, and some people say, well, I might rent it 10% of the time, I don't know. But if you want to have the ability to short-term rent your house, you got to plan on that before your purchase, okay? And so if somebody tells me that, I automatically know, okay, these neighborhoods are not going to be for you because for instance, all of Russell Lands is really our only developer here on Lake Martin. And in none of their neighborhoods can you short-term rent. Okay, well, what does that mean then? So that's going to knock out this whole area for you here where all the willows are. This is going to knock out Trillium for you. This is going to knock out River Oaks is up here. Wicker Point, the Heritage is in here. And so that's going to just knock out their big, I forgot my off-camera helper told me the Ridge, right? And Ridge and Windermere and Wendover is right there. So if you, and there are a couple other neighborhoods hither and yon that don't allow short-term renting also. But that's an example of something that people would say, it would be my nightmare for somebody to tell me that, and then they buy their house and, realize, hey, I can't short-term rent it. So again, I don't mean to sound like not answering the question when people ask what are the good or the bad side of Lake Martin. The key to it is, it's like any big purchase. I'm not here to tell you what you want. I'm here to help you. I'm here to guide you. You're the star of this story. And so I think a good agent, and I try to be one, listens, asks questions, perceptive questions, and then actually listens to the answer. And then I try to guide you in a way, because I've been doing this since '05. I have helped hundreds of people look at thousands of lake properties, and it is so much fun, and I love it. One of the big fun things I do is, like, if I bump into somebody at a restaurant like 8 years later and they say, we still love it, or they show me pictures, that's so much fun. And I think that part of that is asking good questions so that I can find out what would be a good side of Lake Martin for you, because that's what the point of this whole thing is. Your stuff, not mine. All right, I want to be a good realtor and wrap up this video. If you think we'd be a good fit, please give me a call. These videos are how I get a lot, if not most, of my clients. So give me a holler, or text or whatever, and we can set up an initial meeting on the phone, whether it's on the buying side or the selling side. I'd love to help you out. Thanks.